As we know, we are still, as a nation, embroiled in war in Israel and, in general, facing the rising anti-Semitism and hatred against Jews around the world. And at times like this, as in many cases in Jewish history, the conversation very often around our Shabbos tables and coffee shops turns to, when will the Mashiach actually get here, and is the time now for the arrival of the Messianic Era? In Parshas Vayechi, the Torah actually has a tantalizing reference to the end of days, which is known as the Messianic Era. Towards the end of our forefather Yaakov's life, he tells his children to gather round, and he will share with them Acharis Hayamim, which means the end of days, which means what will happen in the future at the time of the arrival of the Mashiach. Now Rashi actually tells us that the next sentences do not follow with information about the Messianic Era because it was hidden in that moment from our forefather Yaakov, and he was prevented from sharing information about the arrival time of the end of days. So the question is, why does the Torah reference it at all if in fact it's a thought that Yaakov has that is aborted and nullified? Why mention it? And moreover, why is the next topic in the Torah the blessings that Yaakov gives the 12 tribes? So I think what we learn from here is a very important lesson that we all need to internalize and apply today. Sure, we would love to know when the Mashiach is coming, because hopefully that would mean an end to all of our strife and suffering. But what the Torah is sharing with us is that the arrival of the time of Mashiach does not depend on a particular calendar date as much as it depends on what we Jewish people do in this world to help bring about the Messianic Era. Now, if we look around at the world today and we see so much of the chaos, of the uncertainty, whether it be in the financial sectors or in the actual warmongering that seems to be happening in addition to the ongoing wars, we wonder about the future of mankind. And when we have 3 heads of universities not being able to condemn the call for genocide of the Jewish people, we understand that the sanity of this world is in jeopardy. So what do we do at this time, and how does that bring about the Messianic Era? The answer is that the Jewish people, with the blessings that are given to us by our forefather Yaakov, and of course by Hashem, that entire formula is what is necessary to bring about the Messianic Era. And therefore the Torah mentions the fact that Yaakov wanted to reveal the end of days, followed by the blessings of Yaakov to his 12 sons, because that is what will yield the bringing about of this utopian time period that we, God willing, will experience, called the time of the Mashiach. How does that work? Well, the blessings for the children of Yaakov, as a person reads through them, talk about incredible characteristics, incredible character traits that the 12 sons of Yaakov possess. And what we're being taught, I believe, through this teaching about the Messianic Era is that if we Jews identify ourselves as the descendants of these 12 tribes with these particular qualities, and we take the responsibility of bringing out all of the different incredible aspects that we are being blessed and told that we possess, that's what will help the world to become a more sane place. We have to take responsibility based on our blessings to bring about the Messianic Era by how we comport ourselves and by how we help the world understand God's wisdom and truth about what's good for the world, about caring for other people, about trying to provide for other people who need, about being selfless instead of being selfish, about having integrity, about making decisions with clarity. All of these things that are contained in our Parsha, and specifically our talents and blessings that we are given as a Jewish people, becomes the methodology for how we work to bring the Mashiach. So if we want this wonderful time period to arrive and bring an end to all the pain and suffering in the world, we have to understand our responsibility as Jewish people to act. And therefore, the Torah specifically mentions the Mashiach era and then tells us who the Jews are, so that the Jews take action based on their identity, based on their God-given gifts and blessings, and help bring the world to the Messianic state.